Once again, my name is Beatrice. It's just a week to Christmas, a season where families come together and people share their love with each other. But as this season arrives, some people also take advantage of it to sell fake and unwholesome products to unsuspecting consumers. The Food and Drugs Authority, FDA, is empowered to ensure what you consume is safe. Head of Agro-Product and Biosafety, of FDA, Roderick Dade Eje, is in the studio with me to help us know how to identify the fake ones from the real ones. And like I said, he's in the studio with me. Good morning to you, sir. Thank you for joining us.
Hello, morning.
And Merry Christmas to you.
The same to you and to all Ghanaians.
So first, let's start off with the corned beef. I'm sure you've seen the picture of a supposed Exeter corned beef container, but it's been ripped off, and you get to know that it's actually not Exeter. Has this come to your attention as the FDA?
Yeah, okay. Thank you very much. We have a department called the Post-Market Surveillance Department. And this, we've also seen this picture, but haven't actually seen real live samples. You know, a lot of things go on social media, and we definitely work with the public. So if there's something that has come to their notice and there's real hard evidence, we would be grateful to have it. But as we know, there isn't anything like that in actual fact that we have seen. Some time ago, there was...
You can actually see the picture on screen now.
Yes. Some time ago, there was something like that. And we've even had the opportunity to send officers to some places to go and check. I mean, outside where the products are, manufactured. And we've come to an understanding that the proper thing should be the product in lithograph. More or less, the label is part of the can. It's not something that you can move. So if there is something like this on the market, it's a partnership that the Food and Drugs Authority has with the public, that they should give us some evidence, and then we would follow up. But as at the moment, with the exception of some of these pictures that we've seen, we haven't seen anything like that. Maybe we should also let the public have that confidence that the post-market surveillance department every day, goes through the system. We have zoned Accra. We go through shops, we sample, go through, see what's on the shelf. Most of the time we pass through, shops and the market without people realizing it. So what we need now is hard evidence, and we would pursue that immediately.
You just said that some time ago you heard about this and you pursued it. What time, when was it?
Oh, this is more than a year ago.
Okay.
So we don't know whether it's because of the season that probably somebody is circulating this through the system. So we don't have the hard evidence. We really would want to, because I can tell you that some time back, even FDA has sent people to Brazil to check on the factories that manufacture this. And the understanding that we have is that it should be lithograph. It's not a label that you can remove. So what you're seeing right now, more or less something being concealed, I mean, it's absolutely a not. We don't accept it on our market. And we would encourage the public to let us know if they have evidence of this, and then we would follow up.
Beyond this, there's also another one going around on social media about plastic rice. In fact, there's even a video where a white person is manufacturing, this rice, and it comes out as final product for people to consume. What has the FDA gathered on this?
Yeah, thank you very much. I mean, the Food and Drugs Authority has a good system in place. Basically, before anything comes onto our market, it's supposed to be registered. So, I mean, it has to go through TEMA or through the KIA. And you just cannot clear certain things. There's by law, Section 97 of the Public Health Act, you are supposed to register the product before it comes onto the market. Now, the registration gives us the opportunity to first see the premises where the product is manufactured, Then we also have the opportunity, to look at the product itself. Does it conform to the standards? So these are in place. So to have somebody actually coming in saying that there's such a product, rice that is made out of plastic. I mean, it's interesting. The whole idea of even plastic, you cannot digest it. You have digestive problems. I mean, because your system is not made in that way to handle such a product. People can fake products anyway. That's what we call food fraud because of the margins that they can have. But as we have right now, we have not registered such a product. Our post-market surveillance hasn't picked anything. We know social media is rife with a lot of, should I say, mischief. And sometimes maybe we shouldn't, we should take some of these things not for the real thing.
And speaking of food fraud, how many of such cases have you had in a space of, say, how many months?
Major food fraud issues, like, for example, what we had in China, melamine, we have not had that type of thing here. Of course, well, maybe the most common, if somebody would do something, might be probably milk or maybe honey, where people then may want to add sugar or maybe add a little water, because if the volume increases, then you can sell more volumes. But on a wide scale, as it is, I mean, to warrant, let's say, a national scale, we've not had such a thing, no.
So as a consumer, how do I tell that this product is fake or real, apart from the expiry dates on the product?
Look, with food technology as it is, there are a lot of tricks that can come in. Take, for example, sausages. I mean, it's a communicated product, more or less it's minced. So if somebody were to take it and then mix it with fat, and then we'll add, let's say, a colorant like nitrates, it would cause a blooming effect, give the red coloration. It will be very difficult for you to look at it. That is why, as part of our processes, we like to go to the premise. We want to see whether the people who are involved in the operation know what they are doing. Of course, we cannot be there all the time, but there are what we call good manufacturing practices that we expect them to have in place. And so if they cannot assure us of that, and then also with sometimes the unannounced inspections that we have. With the rest, we are actually banking on the general public, to also be on the lookout, especially in these times, festive times, the don't call me. I mean, people buy one, get one free. People need to look at the expiry dates, check also, for example, if it's a canned product, is it bloating? Press it for the TikTok sound. You press it, you hear ka, 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 ka. I mean, they are all telltale signs that maybe this product is bloating. So we are actually depending on the public also. Consumer responsibility. People should play that role, should be up and doing, and then should know that the FDA is there. We are a friend. They should report to us if you have any suspicions. Yes.
Now, you just mentioned festive season, and I was coming to that. Are there any special programs for this season?
To let people...
Exactly,
yes.
to educate people. Because
yes.
From what you said, it doesn't seem to me that I have a lot of power in determining what is real and what is not real. So yeah. What specifically programs has the FDA put in place to ensure that I'm highly educated and I'm alert when I go to the market?
Oh, yes. I guess probably maybe the work we've done in the past, maybe we've gotten a large number of the public maybe up to the task now, so that now it looks like, okay, even you calling us today, for a discussion like this shows that people are on their toes. So it's something that we do through our seminars, through our warnings. We have been, educating. And then people too on the silence also, get to us. We tell them what to do, church programs. It's out there. It's not like maybe one specific program that maybe we launch. Day in and day out, the way we go about our business is when we go to the manufacturing premises, we ask them to do corrective actions. We let them know what they have to do. So it's an ongoing process. Yes.
But beyond this, you just mentioned that this is a festive season, and you talked about the don't come thing, buy one get one free. Is the FDA intensifying your education? Beyond the everyday thing you talked about, going to manufacturers' premises and all of that?
Well, there
just
are,
for the purpose of the Christmas,
this, there are, I mean, like as we are on TV now and other radio programs, with the electronic media, we have officers that are doing this. We talk to people. And let me take this opportunity sitting here, not only for the issue of maybe food, but also for medicines. We say, for example, when you go and buy medicine, buy it from a pharmacy. Buy it from a place you can get a receipt and go back. Don't buy it from maybe a moving vehicle where the person who sold to you, you can't get it. As you're walking through town, I mean, watch out for what you are going to buy. Even with sachet water, as you are buying, just pick it up. Try and turn it to light. Try and see whether you can see through, whether there are any particles. Consumer responsibility is what we are pushing now, and we hope that people take it up. Please, FDA is a friend. Don't feel afraid. Please let us know, and we would follow up on it.
But one other interesting thing I find is whether there are any punitive measures for people who sell, say, fake products or expired products. Yes. If I go to the market and I buy something that has expired, and I take it back, sometimes I've had an experience, for instance, where I bought a drink and it was expired. And you're wondering, what do you do beyond telling the seller that, listen, you sold something that has expired to me? What punitive measures are there from the FDA side for such people?
Let me, to make, if it would help you feel more comfortable, you don't want to cross the Food and Drugs Authority on these issues. I can tell you that our laws are potent. It's not that type of call where people say that, okay, the law is old, it's in shillings and the rest. It's not in shillings. You can get imprisoned. There are hefty fines that we give people every day. It's just that it's not proper to come and sit on air and say that, okay, for this company and that company, this is what we did to the person. People are crying their own.
Why is it not proper? Because then you're naming and shaming, and others will not be comfortable doing that. Yes,
there are a lot of such cases. With some, there's a whole range of punishment that goes on. Some of them are corrective actions that people really didn't know that what they were doing, it constituted a wrong. And so you see that, okay, if you weigh the issues as per the chief executive's prerogative, then you realize, okay, fine, it might be better to give the person an opportunity to make changes. But after some warnings, or some that are so deliberate, that we will not, allow it.
When does the FDA consider something as deliberate?
It's on a case by case. Like I said, I mean, with the chief executive's prerogative, But I can bet you, there are things, if someone is paying maybe a fine of, let's say, 25,000 Ghana cedis, I don't think that is something that's simple. And the person has to drop that amount there and there. If, for example, somebody was being put in cell, for selling counterfeit, because if you are selling counterfeit medicine, it's as good as giving that person who is weak something that could kill the person. And I think is it 15 years imprisonment. So it.
When was the last time you punished people for any of these offenses?
We could put it together and maybe disclose it to you.
But when do you have an idea when? Maybe last 2 months, when, for which offenses?
There are several departments in the Food and Drugs Authority. I mean, I would have to check on the particular department.
So in your department, for instance, agro-products and biosafety?
Agro-products is a new, it's about a year old. We collaborate with the Ministry of Food and Agriculture in the areas of, agro-produce safety. Let's say now what we are doing is getting together. Sometimes you have to allow some things just to bring in people to do. But like we say, pre-packaged food, where if somebody has made a concerted effort to try and swindle people, it's not coming easily. I mean, even adverts, when you advertise wrongly to deceive people, you know, we have, I think we could supply you some information on the companies. This year, it's happened to a lot of companies.
Mr. J, tell us an idea, give us an idea of what's happening at the borders. You know, this is the time a lot of people will import so many things. What is the FDA doing at the borders to prevent, you know, unwholesome stuff from entering the country?
The rule is still the same. If you have not registered the product, you cannot bring it into the country. It has to be registered, you know, if it's food, drugs, medical devices, household chemical substances. If they are not registered, the law does not allow you to bring it in. So you cannot go to the port saying you are going to clear such a product. No. If you go, the system is the same. You'll be expected to bring your registration covering it. Customs will deal with you by way of paying your duty. Food and Drugs Authority will not allow you. It may be detained, put in your storage facility until you finish the registration before you can sell.
So are you saying that everything that is entering the country is registered?
Everything entering the country as goes through our office is registered. Yes.
Wow. So, you know, beyond all of these things.
And the registration is on our website. You can just look at the list of registered products. Yes.
You said some minutes ago that the FDA cannot do it alone, cannot be at different places at the same time.
Yes.
Apart from the Ministry of Agriculture that you mentioned some minutes ago, which other agencies do you collaborate with to ensure that your work is efficient?
Yeah, I mean, for example, if you're talking about my department, the Agro Products and Biosafety Department, we work with Food and Agriculture. We work with the Environmental Protection Agency, you know, the proliferation of substandard agrochemicals. You know, there are a number of MDAs that, you know, we do work with. The whole issue being that sometimes you see the downfall of some state agencies has been because they don't collaborate. We are mandated to collaborate, to look at what sister organizations are doing, how we can put our efforts together. If you take, for example, vegetables, you know, as we are in these times, or people trying to slim down the rest, want to go for vegetables and the rest. People are talking about maybe people growing agro products, you know, lettuce, cabbage, and what have you. And then it goes to our market. Are they spraying them with the right agrochemicals? Are the chemicals efficacious? Would they do what? Are the farmers themselves, you know, spraying the right amounts? Or is it that, because I don't remember the last time you went and heated your salad. You don't cook your salad before.
No.
Yes. So it means
just
that
wash it with salt.
you wash it. Thank you. So all of those things are on the market, and that's how come we work together also with the environmental health. I think now if you do look on the market, you would see that the presentation of some of these agro products is, let me say, more hygienic, presented in a more hygienic manner than first it used to be. You go, at least the carrots, they have, you know, try to keep it clean. I think our mothers, they are loving what they are seeing in the market. It's not the best, but it's some of these collaborations that have been going on. The farmers that you see maybe along the waters, people claim that they are using gutter water, you know, some of these farmers, education that the Ministry of Food and Agriculture has given to them, FDA is following up on these things. We are working with something like Ghana Veg, you know, that is sponsored by the Netherlands government, and, you know, educating people. And even soon we are going to start what we call, we want to scan the system and look at what we talk about as MRLs, the minimum residual levels of pesticides that are on our products. So the Food and Drugs Authority is, increasing its scope. When you talk about food regulation, it's not something that's easy, but over time we are growing. We are working with Ghana Standards Authority, our sister organization. The collaboration thing is very, very important, and these are the, let's say, the new things that are going on. So let's be excited about 2017, more and more collaboration among the state agencies happening.
We look forward to that. But one thing, I remember last year there was this big issue about the palm oil laced with some other chemicals and stuff. What happened to it? I know the FDA came out to say that, you know, you had immediately sorted out some of the things. But apart from that, what did the FDA do? Yeah,
the FDA went right down to the manufacturer, because, you know, this has been something that this care or this news has gone on for a while. So we went right down to the points where they are manufactured. And the work that we did, I mean, made it clear that certain people were bringing in what we call the Sudan 4. They were bringing it from, we say, the eastern borders. That means more from Nigeria, Togo, and then Benin. That's the survey that we did. That's what we found out. And what is the whole issue? You see, it's market driven. Our women, our mothers, they want the oil to be very red. The oil to be very red. And then when you look at, I mean, the palm nut, it's made up of two components. You know, I mean, there's the issue of the palmine side and then the olein side. So what happens is that the color, you see one very intense red, then you also see that sort of creamish color. The variety of palm oil that is being used now, or that is widely around, seem to have more of the creamish side. So when you come up with the product, you know, you find out when it's left for a while, or when temperatures decrease, or especially in the foreign markets where they send them to, because temperatures may be low. They call it winterization, I mean a depression of the temperature. The product you find sort of, you know, separating. So then people think that, hey, what's happening to my oil? So in order to try and preserve that oil, they did the wrong thing by adding the Sudan 4. Now the Sudan 4 is not, the Sudan 4 is not a food color.
So let's come here. It's of course Christmas time, and people are going to consume this. Are you going to embark on this whole exercise again to ensure that the right thing is sold to consumers? No,
the right thing is being done now, because we clamped down. We found those who were involved in the exercise. The association themselves were very cooperative, and then because it was affecting their business in general, you know. So what happened that they themselves pointed out, we got to know the transport owners who were involved in this action. More or less, when they pick the product from the source, en route to whichever market, they then dipped this colorant into it, and as the vehicle was moving, you know, the product, I mean, you're agitating it, mixing it. So by the time it gets to the market, these things were there. The FDA now is thinking of a system generally now to look at, you know, the markets before things come in. What are we going to do? On a risk base, we want to now pick certain products that we would want to test, do a bulk agro-produce testing. And these are some of the drives that I was saying, exciting things to happen.
But you just made a categorical statement that has been sorted out.
Yes.
How sure are you that if I go to the market, I will not get such a product to buy?
Oh, because even when we finished with that exercise, we tested again, you know, without letting the market women and the rest know. We tested again, and then the levels had come down significantly. I think the first time it was about 98% contaminated.
When was that?
That's the early part of this year or so.
And you don't think that, you know, markets...
No, the early part of this year that it started, and then we got it off by going back. It just sort of vanished.
But you know, traders can be very innovative and smart.
Yes.
So you went back in early this year, you say?
No, and we are not saying that we've gone to sleep, because what is happening now is that we are now having more engagement, and hence that is why the chief executive even came up with.
What was the last time you checked?
The agro products. There's the food management safety department that is also involved in this. The market women, you know, those who they were tagged, and we visit them. So there's a team that engages with them, you know, all the time.
When was the last time? When was the last time that the team went there to sort of educate them or inquire?
No, they've been, it's like educating the person, letting the person has gone through the whole headache, the problems they had. So they even were now pointing out to us those who were involved in the exercise.
Yes, I get it correctly.
Yes. And the engagement is still ongoing by way of visits.
Yes, and that's what I'm asking, that when was the last time the FDA visited, for instance?
Yes. I would have to fetch that for you, but there is an engagement that goes on all the time. For example, that I was telling you, the post-market surveillance is an activity that goes on every day. As I'm talking to you today, there's a team out. There's a team out.
And is it purposely for the palm oil?
It's for, like I told you, we've zoned Accra, so we go to shops, you would not know. We go to the open market, you would not know. But if you want figures, we could just arrange and then let you see. It's an ongoing process.
Your final words, Mr. J.
Yes, well, it's Christmas. Happy Christmas to everybody. And we are saying that buyers beware. The FDA is working for your safety, but we need that partnership. If you do see anything suspicious, please do let us know. But you yourself, you've got a responsibility also for yourself. Look out for your expiry dates. Look out for the quality of what you are buying. If it's a canned product, test to be sure. If you are buying fish, check and be sure that it is fresh. Lift the gills. Is it red in coloration? Are the eyes bright? It's a range of food products. The don't come me. Always trying to go for the cheap bit is not always the trick. It should warn you that if you're buying something that is usually lower than what it is, it's a telltale sign that you should watch out. And feel free to always be called on the closest Food and Drugs Authority office. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Roderick Dade Ejay. He is the head of Agro Product and Biosafety at the FDA. Thank you very much for joining us in the studio. You're still watching News Desk on Joy News. Stay with us. When we come back, we'll bring you more stories. This is News Desk. Now, the members of the governing NDC on the transition team have described some allegations made by the New Patriotic Party as regrettable. NDC members say they have learned the acting General Secretary of the New Patriotic Party has alleged the handing over notes that have been made available to them so far have been doctored, and they find the comment unfortunate. Hannah Odami joins me in the studio with details of that. Hannah, first of all, what additional information is in this statement? Yeah,
Beatrice, aside the fact that Hannah Tete, who is the spokesperson for the government transition team, thinks that the information is everything has been doctored. She's also saying that she believes the MPP must concentrate on at least understanding the state of affairs of the departments, state and agencies that they are going to have oversight over, and not necessarily try to find issues with the NDC administration or maybe find a way to demonize them.
Beyond this, I know that Hannah Tete also responded to the allegation by Yaw Safumafu that some recruitments were being made at this time. What exactly did the statement say on that?
Initially, they vehemently disagreed with that, and there was a statement to that regard. But this time round, I want to state exactly what she has written, and it says that it is important to note that the current administration is the lawfully elected government of the Republic of Ghana and has the authority to exercise all the functions of government until the handover note takes place to a new administration. Now listen to this. The transition process that should not be seen as a shutdown of the administration of the outgoing government, suggesting that, viewers will have to make their own opinions, come up with their own opinions. But she's suggesting that the fact that there's transition doesn't mean that the NDC government has completely shut down. They don't work till January 7. Obviously, from now to January 7, there will be some work ongoing.
Exactly.
So recruitment can also be ongoing, right?
I remember initially she also spoke to some media houses about her lack of knowledge of what's happening. So it's interesting.
It's interesting she's come out, and she even gave additional details to suggest that, well, the handing over notes, some are ready, eight ministries already have handed over. So probably she didn't have the information now, but as at now, this is the latest that she can tell you, that government has not shut down, and so recruitment can continue, and it's part of government's business.
Regarding the handover note, it's something the NPP says that has been delayed. And I remember this morning, one person who spoke to us said that the ministries they have are not really ministries that they need for their planning.
Exactly. She's saying that the ministers who are supposed, according to Hannah Tete in the statement, all the handing over notes were ready. But the ministers could not append their signatures because they were out campaigning prior to the elections. Now, yesterday was a week after elections. So a week after elections, where are the ministers to append their signatures? We have only 8 of them that have been handed over so far. We are waiting for the rest. And as you said, you were told that the ministries that have handed over their notes are not the ones they need. Well, we hope that at the end of today. But she has stated that the others will be handed over on Monday, that's 19th. So we hope that by then, all the others will be handed over to the incoming team.
Thank you very much, Hannah Odame. You're still watching News Desk on Joy News. Stay with us. Emmanuel Abouajiriafe will join us with the latest in business.